Post-match interview here at the Erie following tonight's 1-1 draw with Leighton Town. Dave, interested to know your views on the performance tonight, because I think in the main the performance was very, very good. But is there a tinge of disappointment in the fact that we didn't make our opportunities pay on a game that we dominated?
Yeah, we're playing the best team in the league. I don't think anybody stops them. At their place, I think they'd probably be untouchable. And tonight, we were better than them. Our play was. It was at the times it was a pleasure to watch. I mean, first half, some of the play. I spoke. When we come back on the pitch, I spoke to Reedy. He said, does that happen to you often where you should have been out of sight, you're not out of sight? And the truth is, he's right. We should have been out of sight, and it does happen all too often. By the way, look, we are what we are. I walked in at half time and I said, this is why lads play for us and stay with us. They play for us for less money than any other club in this league because of the way we play. We play unbelievable football. We lack one or two things, but that's probably because of where we are with exactly that, with finances. But then us too, I think, do, and the whole club does. We do things the right way. We look to play. Cambridge use us because we play football, and they know if they send a lad into us, it's gonna be all on the floor. We're all looking to play. It's great football. So we do things the right way. First half was. Look, we were so on top. I can't describe it. We've made more chances than you care to mention, and let's be honest, we've missed some absolute sitters tonight. So we can talk about how well we played, and we were outstanding. But if you're not putting away some of the stuff I know they had BJ on the bench tonight, and he must have sat there and thought, Christ, if I'm up front for them today, I've probably got 4. And he would have had, if not more, I think. That's how many chances we created. So, and some of the play, our midfield today was, the last few weeks we've planned our injuries, our midfield, our games, our players. We had this side marked out for this game. We had Saturday just gone's team marked out for that game. Games when we put Charlie in the side, games when we put Ethan in the side, and this side was mapped out for weeks. I watched them against Biggleswade Town, which I thought was a great game. I liked it for other reasons, but it was a great game, and I come away from that, and I think I probably picked this team at that point. So, having talked, not just me, but said to the way we need to play it, and we got it right. And we never made a sub today. Second half, I thought the same. We just some of our play and the way we cut the lines out, the seconds and thirds we picked up, and that they struggled with us. But you also have to give them massive credit because they're top of the league because they didn't succumb. At the end of the day, they found a way to get through the game, and in the end we have 3 or 4 minutes at the end, and then we then face 2 or 3 corners, and I don't know how Skip was thinking at the time. I'm thinking, this would really put a knife in if they go and nick at the end.
It did feel like there was it did feel a bit like it was just almost a matter of time because
it was.
We had been, we limited them to very few chances, and it was just frustrating from our point of view that one of the few chances that they had, they scored from.
Yeah, and that came, that came from us giving it away, and that's the other big disappointment. The goal comes that we try something on the halfway line that gets robbed, and of course when you're doing, you've got the way we play with our runners, we're committing players forward, they break, credit to them, get it out wide right, ball's great, they finish it, and we're 1-1 in a game that we've dominated. They've not been in a great deal, but probably the massive difference between the two sides is that they've got lads up front that they had one chance. They scored their one chance today. We've had, would I be over exaggerating saying we've had 10 plus? So I don't think I am, you know. So let's say they had the guy at the right time and stuck it in. We unfortunately tonight we haven't.
Skip, obviously frustrating night not getting the 3 points, but a hell of a lot of positives to take from the performance as well. With, let's say, the defence absolutely outstanding. When you think Leighton are quite a big and physical side all over the pitch, I thought I personally felt from having watched them earlier in the season that set pieces might be a struggle for us, but I felt in the main we limited their corner count, their free kick count until towards the very end. And when we were asked the question, I felt we defended absolutely superbly.
I thought we were brilliant all over the pitch, to be honest, and just agree with everything David said there. We was at times some of the best football we've played this season, and again, you'll probably hear if you go back on previous interviews, my biggest concern is when we played the teams in the bottom 4 or 5, where there is just a mentality. I was never concerned about today's game. They all knew Leighton at top. They all knew Leighton were undefeated. We're at home. Just knew that we would turn up. I knew we would play, and then of course you're in the lap of the gods. And when you consider, I think they've conceded only 11 goals in 15 games. We could have had 5 by half time. So just a mixture of good goalkeeping, I have to say. I mean, he's produced 2 saves. We've gone 1-0 up, and then he's produced an unbelievable save from an Alex Marsh header. Yeah, I think he's probably one of a handful of keepers that gets that because he's so tall. He was at full stretch. It was unbelievable save. So, yeah, credit to all the guys. Dave alluded to there that we had this game earmarked for certain players. That's not to say that is our strongest 11 out there. So if any of the players are listening to this interview, that is not our strongest 11 because it was the game today to play a Leighton side. Next week we're playing Rayers Lane. There'll be different players. We'll have different ideas, different formations. So every single player on the bench is good enough to start. Every single player has got something to contribute to this team going forward. We've got, I don't know, what's that, the 15th game, our 14th game? So we've got 30 plus games still to go. So, yeah, just brilliant all round. And again, on another day, we do win it. But then again, what I would say, we've had teams in the past that we and Dave have managed that you lose that one because you start to chase a game that doesn't need chasing. You leave yourself open on the counter-attack. And I don't think they really countered us. We just seemed to pick everything up. Brilliant.
Was there any temptation? Obviously, I appreciate it's a really tight game. Was there any temptation to change it towards the end, or was it a case of because it was so tight, it was difficult to make a case for making any tweaks to the starting 11?
It was so difficult because from minute 1, we were on the front foot, and everybody's had a 9 or 10 out of 10 performance. It really has been one of those. So, yeah, you're looking back and you think you could have made this change or that change, but you live and die by your decision. So me and Dave could see if you make 2 or 3 changes, then you lose it 2-1. Everyone's going to say, why'd you change it? Because you were on top, and we were on top. Injuries would have probably dictated it. Cramp, anyone goes down with cramp, we'd have done it, obviously. But from a tactical point of view, while the guys on the bench could have gone on and hit the ground running, you're always in fear that you make a change and you do lose. You're fouled in the game and you do lose the impetus, and all of a sudden you're thinking, why have I done that? So, yeah, I've already had 3 or 4 people say, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? So, like I said, we've made decisions in the past and won a game and everyone claps you on the back. We've made decisions in the past and lost it and everyone questions you. So, it's just part and parcel. My experience, I know who to avoid. And I hide somewhere till they've got home. But yeah, no, we just one of them. Just on the night, didn't feel there was a change required.
No worries. Dave, that's now in the home games this season. That's now 4 draws out of 6 games. Is it just a case of we just need to be more ruthless in front of goal to turn those draws into victories, or is it just the fact that if you look at the teams that we've now played Leighton, who are up there, Hitchin who are up there, and Barton are up there in those 6 games as well.
We just got. I said to him afterwards, we've just got to find a way to put these games away with I don't think there's a home game we haven't dominated, if I'm honest with you, or been the better side, and we've got to get them over the line. That we started poorly last week against London Lions, but again, probably the same thing as today. We've had enough. If we'd have finished 6-7-2, I don't think anybody could complain. We dominated the game so much and made so many chances. So it's quite difficult. We haven't got a checkbook, so we keep making making do with the same players is not the right wording, but we've got a squad and we keep mixing it and changing it. We've just made obviously a new signing, and we've got a young lad, one of the Cambridge Academy boys who was released last season, training with us, and we're going to look at those. We're going to actually get involved in the squad, we think, Friday, and let's have a look. We could have the player could be with us now, that just finds that opening that's got away. And of course, the other lad that is Rafi's due back.
I was just going to say, is he close to being
returned
to the squad?
I spoke to Amy tonight, and I think we're talking. He trained last week with no contact. We won't be training this week because obviously we've got a game Friday. We've worked hard today. I think he'll then have he'll need two full contact training sessions, I believe she gave him. And once he comes through them, if he comes through that, then it will just be a case of getting his fitness back. So that'll give us some more problems because the squad's, I think we had 17 here tonight. If we bring in the two guys at the weekend, on Friday, should I say, then that takes it up to 19. We can still only get 16 in, but we need to look at these two guys and hopefully they might just be the piece of the jigsaw we're missing. That's what we're hoping for. We're not looking at them to say goodbye. We're looking at them to go, are these the answer? And then it obviously gives us even more issues or problems for us. But they just might be the right people. It's just you keep working. One's come to us. Got a phone call for him to come, and as I say, the other one has just come because of our link with Cambridge. To be fair, Cambridge are here tonight watching, and I hope and pray that there's a suggestion we might get Dan back, and all of a sudden, Christ, then we become a whole different forward line again. So yeah, let's kind of hope.
Well, excellent stuff, gents. Another point on the board. Maybe not the three that we wanted, but definitely lots and lots to be positive about. The squad is looking fantastic, and as I say, we've shown again tonight that we can compete with the division's best. So lots and lots to be positive about going into the coming weeks. Another quick turnaround game on Friday. We're at home here against Raiders Lane, and then we are away at FC Dunstable the following week. So we look forward to seeing you.
Thanks, Lee.
Thank you, Lee.